Hello, everybody, and welcome. Maverick here. Today's topic is going to be a little bit on the controversial side, that is the controversy currently going on within the Escape from Tarkov community itself, and that is the fight that's going on between the hardcore long-term fans of Escape from Tarkov and also the casual players that are either new to the game or have been long-term fans but are not able to play the game as much as they would like. I myself can be categorized as a casual player due to the fact that I have a full-time job and I'm not able to play the game as much as I would like. I will try to be as unbiased in this topic, but I will be finding myself agreeing more with the casual players than hardcore fans because of the current situation that I find myself in with having a full-time job. To start things off, we're going to be looking at how hardcore fans feel about the game and their opinion towards casual players. And this also does include certain Twitch streamers that play Escape from Tarkov as well, who openly have their opinion posted on Twitter and also their streams about this. Now, the argument from hardcore players is that casual players should not even consider playing the game, that they shouldn't even have an opinion, that Escape from Tarkov is not a game for the faint of heart, and that it will never cater towards them. The problem with this argument is that it immediately criminalizes most of the player base within Escape from Tarkov, which is the casual base. The people that play the game when they can. They might not be high level, they might not have the best gear, but they still enjoy the game. Now, there are certain casual players out there that do have an argument against them that I do not agree with, but at the same time, with the current state of the game, it does cater more towards those that are hardcore and have more time to play in general. I myself am level 34 during the current wipe cycle. I have not reset myself. This level is from me playing from the start of the wipe up until now. The only time I do get to play Escape from Tarkov is when I do stream it, but my frustrations with the current wipe started back when the wipe first initially happened, which, days after the wipe, there were players running around with the best gear in the game, class level 5 armor, M4s with M995, it didn't matter what I wore, what ammo I had, I was not able to punch through the armor of my enemy, and found myself dying constantly because my armor didn't mean anything. This was not just a few players that I would encounter, this was the majority of players that I came across. They just in general had the best gear basically in the game because they were able to play and grind to level 40 almost seemingly overnight. The problem with this argument, and the thing that is not touched upon within it, is the progression of Escape from Tarkov. The developers have sought after making the game streamer proof to prevent people from getting level 40 within a few days, but this in turn has had a negative effect on the community, making it to where casual players are not able to progress as fast as those that have the time to play the game, such as streamers, for instance. But the streamers themselves are a small portion of the community. Most of the community that have time on their hands are not streamers. Therefore, they make up a majority of the issue, with being the threat towards people that are lower level, just for the sheer fact that they have the armor and ammo that makes low level players irrelevant. In the early days of the game, progression really didn't mean that much because most people ran with the same gear, through the same levels, at the same time when a wipe would hit. There really was not much of an issue with having people top level right after a wipe or low level right after a wipe. The reason for this is because progression for both super hardcore fans that had time on their hands and also more casual players like myself were able to progress relatively at the same time next to each other because it was easier to get to the same level, because it was easier to get to level 40. But now that is not the case. There is the argument that people that are lower level can use the flea market, but the problem with that, with buying armor and also ammo at the flea market, is that the prices of ammo and armor is inflated way past what the base prices are from the traders, making this a unviable option for newer players that don't have as much money. The hardcore players are looking at the game as a full PvP game, and that is the only thing to do. And they feel that coming across low level casual players that don't have the best gear is a waste of their time due to the fact that their gear is not worth as much to them. And because of this, they do not make as much money off of killing low level players or hatchlings or pistoliers, and it does not fulfill the excitement of coming across another geared player that you can have an extended firefight with, which all this adds to the hardcore players' frustrations. The major thing that both sides seems to forget is the future of Escape from Tarkov. How the developers want to make Escape from Tarkov an open world game, where every map location on the game will be connected into one giant map, and you will have to travel to the traders in order to trade your items or buy items, and move back to your hideout to stash your gear. At that point, Escape from Tarkov, I see, will become more like DayZ or Deadside, where PvP is not the main focus of the game, but survival will be. Looting locations will be the primary focus of not just surviving, but also making money, and not by going out and killing other players. In this instance of open world, scabs should become the primary threat to the player, along with scab bosses and also cultists, and disease and whatever else the developers decide to throw into the game at that point. With a larger environment, player cap more than likely will be increased, but I will not see it being increased by that much. I'm not necessarily sure on how servers will be handled on the open world map, but I only have DayZ and Deadside to go off of for something like this. More than likely, you just press a button like you do now to load straight into a world, and that's it, instead of trying to find a server similar to DayZ or Deadside, where the game will try to fill you into a server that has an empty slot automatically, which is more than can be said for other games out there. But even with that said, coming across another player in an open world setting should be rare. There will not be any more spawning in and rushing other spawns that are next to you in order to catch other players off guard that are just spawning in or could be spawning in late, essentially making the current argument invalid. I feel as if the current argument right now about this whole situation between hardcore players and also casual players is more or less based on PvP than anything, because of the fact that casual players, again, are not able to kill hardcore players that have more time on their hands and have the better gear, and hardcore players that have better gear, that are basically chads, are unable to make money on lower level players that don't have good gear. And with that said, I'm going to leave this at that. If you have enjoyed this video or hated it, please leave a like or dislike if you may choose. Do not forget to subscribe, and also follow me on Twitch for when I am live. Till next time, I will see you guys later. Peace.